Get ready with me for my second week of college as I discuss how my first week of college went. Today, I'm going to purely be talking about my experience, my first impressions about college and the college life. Because I'm going to kind of use these videos as a form of a diary, as a form of a way to keep track of how my life is doing at this moment in time and seeing it progress. But yeah, so let's start off with my first day of school. My first day of school was a lot of walking. It was a lot more walking than I thought it would be. At UNOV, their parking places, I guess, are like on the outsides of the university, which makes sense, but they're on the outside of the university, so you kind of have to walk from like the very end all the way to like where the buildings are. And my building that I needed to be in were in the middle, so I have to like walk through all the other buildings. And it was a good first day. It didn't occur to me how much older college kids would appear. Um, I'm not sure why I was under the impression that I don't know why I was under the impression that college students were all going to be my age, because I know that, things happen, people make choices after high school before they decide to go to college, or things happen. So I wasn't oblivious to that, but it did still surprise me. But overall, it was a pretty good first day. My second day was still good. I have a break in between two of my classes on my Tuesday, Thursday classes. So it's really nice getting that like hour and 15 minutes, because my cousin and I ate lunch, and this is the first time we've ever gone to the same school because we live on opposite sides of town. So it was really nice like being able to like spend lunch with someone, especially because I haven't really like made the time, I guess, to like get to know other people or get to know like who I'm going to school with. Only really like in my classes, but yeah. I have no idea where I left off because I needed to go do something. But so yeah, on Tuesday I had lunch with my cousin. Wednesday I had two classes, and they were my last two classes of the day. Because my political science teacher had a conference to go to. So there was no class for that. So it was, but it's not like it really, like, I had to get up any later because traffic for like the later classes gets worse than in the morning. So you kind of just have to leave like at the same time so that you can get good parking. So that's what I did. Um we my classes basically just explain like a little bit more. What I do notice about going to like a university over like a community college is that the teachers care. The professors care a lot more about what they're teaching, and they care a lot more about their students. So they took attendance more, they um do like participation. So that was interesting, only because at community college, like they don't take attendance, like, and they all teach from like a PowerPoint and they just send it out. And the PowerPoint is basically the same as the book. So that part was just like a little different for me. But I kind of like it a lot more because their lectures are a lot more engaging and whatnot. I have literally a textbook or multiple textbooks for every single class. And the way that I do it is I take the syllabus and I make separate calendars for each class on Google Calendars, and then I put everything that's in the syllabus in the Google Calendar as a deadline, as an assignment, things like that. And every single day, I'm reading a different textbook in its entirety. And then on Thursday, I only had one class, which was my morning class. So I was only there from not one, for 1 hour and 15 minutes. And it was a very quick day. Um, but that day, I was able to pick up a textbook. I was able to find the law building at my university for a club meeting I was going to later that night. So Thursday, there's this thing that UNLV does. It's called UNLV Premiere. It's kind of like a kickoff to like start off like all the UNLV events, get everyone like pumped for the year, get them involved. And it was kind of like a little festival. They had a DJ, it was on a field, they had zip lining, rock climbing. They gave us like free food and like they had tacos and watermelon, like cut up watermelon. And they had free dessert, but I didn't get to stay around long enough to do that. Then it started like pouring rain and then it stopped. They gave out free shirts. There were multiple clubs that were there. It was very it was very fun. I will say that. It was so fun. It was people were very like open-minded. They were very nice. It was also nice to see like um my friends from high school, and we all like it's funny because when in high school when you're applying to colleges, you barely tell each other what colleges you apply for. And then there's some people who really like tell like other people like what colleges they got into, and then there's people who don't tell what colleges they got into, and then people never say what or people usually never say what choice they're actually making unless they only got accepted to one college or they have like always had their eyes set on one college, if that makes sense. um but me and my girlfriend went to this UNLV premiere. We had a blast. We went as soon as it started and we left early because she lives really far from our school, so she did not want to be driving like at night, especially when it started raining. And then I had a club meeting to go to, so we both left and we went. I went to this club meeting, and the club meeting was the mock trial team. And when I walked into the room, I felt very excited about what that club was going to offer me and what I was going to get out of it. Um, but when I left the club, I instantly felt very doubtful of my goals, my professional goals, and if my professional goals aligned with the goals that I had for my life, if that makes sense. Um, and not because like, oh, this club did that. Like they were just trying to explain that, you know, having a heavy workload is like what lawyers do. Like, you won't have a personal life. If you have a significant other, like, you're not gonna, like, you won't have time to be with them. Like, you need to be with someone who's like understanding that like you won't be home, like all of these things. And like, as someone who is a freshman but only has like 60 credits like withstanding, like, that's scary because it's like I'm on my track to, finishing or to being done with school in, 5 years. Like, I can't I can't feel like this isn't for me because that this is what I've been working towards. And so it was very difficult because I had like walked out of there and I was like, I had no idea what happened. And so it was something that was also a lot of work. It was a really big time commitment. It was like 3 hours, 3 hour meetings for 3 days of the week and minimum. And that's not even including like traveling, preparing outside. It was just like a lot. It was very demanding, and that personally was not for me. I also have never been on mock trial in high school because my high school was really small. So we barely had like any clubs because we didn't have like enough teachers to run any. Um, we didn't have a mock trial team, and I was in Model UN, and I knew from the get go that I wanted to join Model UN. So I already had a club in mind. This one was going to just be like another one. But it's like, me personally, I don't want to spend my entire college career literally just in school. I want to get hands on experience at law firms or as a legal sector, like things like that. And in my head, it didn't make sense for me to commit to a club like that I know wasn't going to offer me that time. Um, and just because I don't join it doesn't mean that I can't get into law school. So that's basically that. And I went home and, well, I sat in my car after my meeting and I just cried because I was just overwhelmed with doubt. Um, and then I came home and I figured it out. Made that decision this weekend that I wasn't going to join that club. Um, it just wasn't a right fit for me, I guess. Um, I didn't feel that that's an environment in which I would thrive in right now. That's not to say that I couldn't do it in the future, but as of right now, that wasn't something that I knew that I would be able to handle. Um, so yeah. But I have a lot of reading for sure. Um, so like balancing an extracurricular is like, it sounds like a lot of work. So, but yeah, I think my skin is majorly peeling because I've been using, like, I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but the skin in between my forehead is kind of peeling. I think that's because I have been using like a prescribed acne cream from my dermatologist, and it's it's really just making my skin like, I think that's why my moisturizer burned when I put it on this morning. I don't even know. I don't know, but I am going to wipe off some of this. UNLV had their first football game of the season like on Saturday, and I was not able to go, which is like such a shame. I was not able to go because I was out of town for a baby shower. But honestly, I really enjoyed being out of town more than I would have enjoyed the football game right now, just because I really like needed like a breather because all of my classes were kind of just really heavy workload, and I don't know if I really like loves that. Well, overall, my first week of school was not overwhelmingly too much because I have been in like college classes before, but it was different. And it's exciting because they're all topics that are very interesting. But I'm also nervous to see what the workload is going to be like once everything like just once the ball starts to get rolling and the professors aren't really like tiptoeing around all the topics. Um, but I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm happy that I'm doing this, you know. Um, but overall, I think this experience is going to be a lot of ups and downs, and I'm excited to just document, I guess, the entire as much of the entire thing as I can. So, on that note, thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.